I'm Sarah Fardy, the ANZ Commercial Marketing Lead, and today I have with me Dr. Catherine Osborne from Crux Biolabs, and we're here to ask some fishbowl questions.
Sarah, what is a fun fact about your field of expertise?
Well, my field of expertise is immunology and virology. Fun fact would be, the first vaccine ever identified was for smallpox.
Yes.
And it was identified because there was certain groups of people who were immune from getting smallpox from cows, and they were the milkmaids. And they had a certain adaptation where they were getting the disease, but they weren't necessarily becoming sick. They would then take little sores and scarify and inoculate people with the bugs to give them a small dose of the infection, which was the first type of vaccine.
Yep. And the word vaccine comes from the Latin word for cow, because of that, because of the cowpox.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Catherine. She's so smart.
No.
Okay.
Sorry, jumping in. Can I do this one?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I did at the bench for 10 years in soil microbial ecology, in a teaspoon of soil, there's 1 billion bacteria.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You've told me that one before.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good party trick.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? There you go. Oh, I'm not going to know this one. Sarah, what year was Merck founded?
The year. It was about 350 odd years ago. So, I don't know. I'm not very good at maths. Terrible. Okay, next question. 350 years ago. Okay, what piece of advice would you give to a young scientist?
Oh, that's a really good one. Stay curious.
Yeah.
But also extend yourself. So you will be constantly learning, but if you feel there's an area that you don't know, so whether that's a postdoc going and learning a new field, or whether it's learning about business, so you can take your science and your business and going out and doing that. So extending yourself, I think, is
good advice.
My advice. What does your daily routine look like, Sarah?
Oh my God. Right.
Where do we start?
For most people that know me, I don't often spend a lot of time getting myself ready. So I stay in bed as long as possible, get out of bed at the last minute, and that's always too late. So I'm not great at daily routines because I love bed so much.
Yeah.
All right. What was the last book you read? Would you recommend it?
I'm currently on audiobooks.
Yeah, how good are they?
So commuting, it's just a really nice wind down.
Yeah.
I tend to do pop science or pop business books often, but at the minute I'm back into fiction and reading a favourite, Pride and Prejudice.
Oh, good. How good is the audiobook narrator? Oh, she's fantastic. She's so good. She does all of the Jane Austen books.
Yeah, the one I'm listening to is Rosamund Pike.
Yeah.
And the one before that, I actually did Persuasion, and Persuasion's my favourite Austen.
Right.
And I did that because...
Have you seen the new Netflix show?
I actually think they missed a hit on casting there. Do you know what? I would be paying for a Netflix subscription if they had cast Henry Golding as Wentworth.
Oh, wow.
I would watch that in a heartbeat. Okay. Whatever they did with Anne Elliot, I would have been okay if they'd put Henry Golding as Captain Wentworth.
As Captain Wentworth, I wasn't hot on the casting, but it was a multicultural cast, so I was very impressed with that as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm on the audiobooks as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually listening to a book called Blindside, and it's a marketing book, and it's all about how your neuropsychology influences your decisions to make. Influences your ability to make decisions around buying product and why you would choose one service over another based on how you're anchored to certain values in your belief system, and then the influential kind of strategies that marketers can put in over the top to compensate for preconceived ideas about anchors, etc.
Interesting.
So interesting.
Oh, here we go. What was your dissertation about?
Mine?
Yeah.
Well, if I submitted it.
Oh.
No, my PhD studies were about avian influenza and about the underlying impacts of the virus on the immune system and how we can understand all the steps that trigger the immune system and then come in at different checkpoints along that immune response and create therapies or mitigating factors that reduce the overall immune burden on an immune system when they're infected with a virus. That's why I know so much about how COVID-19 impacts the immune system.
Yeah.
Okay, yellow. What do you think is the biggest innovation happening in your field?
So I'm very excited about what we can do in the cellular immunology space in an accredited lab. So what we do at Crux as a contract research organisation is we're an immunology specialist contract research organisation. So there are labs that do clinical trial work all over the world. Most of them are quite large, and most of them they really churn through the samples. So analysing chemistry or analysing biomarkers in serum and plasma, they can do high throughput, and they do that well. As an immunology specialist contract research organisation, we take on the biomarker side, but we're also doing a lot on the cellular immunology. So being able to isolate PBMCs, white blood cells from patient samples, and then being able to do experiments on those white blood cells to tell us and the pharma companies and the FDA what's happening to the immune system in those people without doing experiments on further experiments on the people. Those white blood cells can tell us how the person would respond if they get infected or if something happens with their cancer. Now, what's really fascinating is that cellular immunology you can't churn through. Processing PBMCs has to be done by scientists. Flow cytometry has to be done by scientists. We've got ELISpot. We do restimulation experiments in plates. It's really fascinating, but we have that specialised expertise. So we all know about the pandemic and the vaccines. I get very excited about the mRNA vaccines because it not just against COVID, but hopefully it can crack some other big targets that are out there. Malaria, TB. It's a relatively economic way, or in some ways it's economic, but hopefully that technology can overcome some of the hurdles that we've had in vaccinating against some of those awful diseases that are still quite prevalent in major parts of the world. So there's that mRNA vaccine side, but outside vaccines, the immuno-oncology and what's going on, and the clinical trials we're involved in with companies, big and small, all over the world, who are trying to use the immune system to target and kill cancers. It's so exciting what people are doing. So there's the chimeric CAR T cells, there's antibodies, there's various peptides. So there's these biological way of killing cancer. It's really cracking open the field, and there's lots of investment, and so there's lots of work for us. The immunology is fascinating. Yeah.
And are you using our Ficol or our Percol?
Yes, we do. Ficol and setmate tubes, the setmate tubes from Merck, and then the milliplex assays as well.
Yep, excellent.
Yeah. So the milliplex assays are really powerful.
Yes.
Yep. Oh, this is cute. If you were an element on the periodic table, what would you be and why?
Oh. Silver?
Really?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting.
I'd be silver. No, I don't want to be silver. It's too soft. Maybe harder. This is hard.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
I'd definitely be carbon.
Okay.
Because it's involved in all of biology.
Oh,
I love carbohydrates.
Okay.
And I also like diamonds.
Perfect. There it is.
Yep, just above gold.
Silver. Don't know why. I just thought it was shiny. It was shiny, but now I kind of want to be carbon.
Everyone wants to be carbon.
Well, thank you, Dr. Catherine Osborne, for joining us for a quick chit chat. Pleasure to have you at the Merck site and to learn a little bit more about you.
Thanks, Sarah.